Tonight we cover the measles outbreak and how it relates to the UWSP campus. Also, we look at footage from the protests in Madison on Saturday.
All this and more coming up on SPTV News.
From the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point, this is your SPTV News with Milica Mitrovic and Marty Kaufman.
This week in campus news, the national measles outbreak affects students. SPTV's Laura Braun spoke with medical professionals to see if it will.
Last week, the state of Wisconsin was in the clear for an outbreak of measles. This week, it could be a different story. The outbreak, which started in California in mid-December, has now reached over 17 states, including the District of Columbia.
It's a fairly large outbreak, and it's spreading.
For young ones, this infection can hit hard. 2 Portage County children under the age of 5 are under suspicion of having the infection, but the Portage County Public Health and Services Department are investigating.
We currently in Portage County do not have any confirmed cases of measles. We do, in fact, have 2 suspect cases that are currently under investigation. And public health staff with local partners are working on the situation currently.
Stevens Point Ministry Healthcare physician Andrew Brown says the most important step that UWSP students and community members can take is to get vaccinated this season and to be cautious around those who are sick.
Usually with measles, they'll have fever or a skin rash, something else.
The Center for Disease Control reports that measles targets children under the age of 5, so for most college students at UWSP, the outbreak won't be much of a concern.
Likelihood is still low that people are going to contract it, because the majority of people are immunized. So, yes, there probably could be some sporadic cases that come out in Stevens Point. That'll be possible, but I think it's going to be unlikely.
In Stevens Point, Laura Braun, SPTV News.
Children are more likely to contract the disease, but it's still important students protect themselves against the infection.
On Saturday, several concerned citizens marched from the Madison Library Mall to the state capitol. Those opposed to the UW system budget cuts gathered to make a statement to the governor. The large crowd showed their enthusiasm by chanting, holding signs, and marching. We won't know for sure if these efforts made a difference until June when the full budget is released. And speaking of the budget cuts to the UW system, Chancellor Bernie Patterson sat down with SPTV to discuss the issue. Patterson gives us the reaction he has gotten from students and the faculty here at UWSP.
Well, as the campus community became more informed about this, their concern was more focused and therefore more informed. But I'd have to say their level of concern is extremely high. We have not experienced anything of this magnitude since I've been chancellor. And it is the largest cut in the history of the university. And so quite naturally, people will be very worried about how we're going to manage this. You know, when you think about all the things we do every day at this university, and you take almost $6.5 million out of the budget, what are the things that $6.4 million was funding? Did we stop?
We'll have footage of both sides of this issue and more from Chancellor Patterson next week.
Students can nominate professors for several awards, including Excellence in Teaching, Scholarship in Service, University Service, and University Scholar. Applications can be found on the web link listed. Students should complete these forms and email them to SGA before noon on February 26.
In local news, surgeon season is upon us and will last until March 1st. However, Wisconsin DNR senior fishery biologist Ryan Konings told the Stevens Point Journal he knows that the sturgeons were leaner and poorer in condition than in previous seasons. He attributes this decline in a condition of the lack of gizzard shad, a food for the sturgeons.
On February 20th, the Portage County Sheriff's Office will test its new emergency mass notification system, the Portage County Call. With this new system, citizens will receive text message alerts about current emergencies. Citizens can go on the Portage County website to sign up to receive alerts.
In national news this week, Eastern Ukraine's fragile ceasefire is almost a day old, but pro-Russia separatists and government forces have both reported violations. The Organization for Security and Cooperations in Europe says that there has been violence in Delpostov, but the group and the Ukrainian military say that the truce is largely being upheld. CNN's senior international correspondent Nick Pelton-Walsh is on the ground with this report.
here, the ceasefire didn't stop the fighting or even freeze it much. We went as far down the road as the Ukrainians seemed to hold. Others, by separatists, indeed encircled into Baltsova a few kilometers further. Here, they say, their bridge is targeted. Shelling rings out for hours. The Ukrainian troops trapped inside the Baltsova further down this road, hundreds if not thousands of them, are not using this supposed pause in the fighting to escape. Instead, the deathly silence here is broken by the sound of shelling and at times civilians still fleeing now for their lives. There's shelling, she says, not as bad as it was, but there are still people there. Ceasefire monitors said they were blocked from travelling down this road earlier, but that the ceasefire was just about holding. In Svetlodarsk, the pause is just a time to take stock of how much you've lost. It is the separatists pushing forwards here, but in the crossfire of heavy weapons, when even nursery schools have been hit. Many locals feel anger at their government in Kiev the most. Natalia's home is here, and she feels her Russian roots are also under attack.
Who did this?
Ukraine did this, she says. Poroshenko, Kiev. Don't film me, they'll kill me. They don't shoot at us, but all the same, they kill somebody. There's no rest, no calm. What are Ukrainian soldiers doing here with automatic weapons? Tamana asks. What are they doing here? We only have the elderly here. They knock on the door, Anton says. Take a guy just in his shorts and sandals. Take him away. The Ukrainian National Guard, that is. Where? I don't know. The snow has settled, along with new anger and hatreds. But still, the sound of a war not yet resolved to peace.
We will keep you updated on the conflicts in Ukraine.
Top executives are meeting with some Washington's key players, including the commander-in-chief. They were in California February 13th for a cybersecurity summit hosted by the White House. Polo Sandoval reports on what they're talking about and what they're doing to try to keep Americans safe online.
President Obama is hoping to improve ties between Washington and Silicon Valley. He's talking cybersecurity with some of the nation's top tech executives. The summit at Stanford University is meant to come up with a strategy to thwart hackers setting their sights on Americans.
And it's one of the great paradoxes of our time, that the very technologies that empower us to do great good can also be used to undermine us.
The White House is announcing the creation of a cybersecurity threat center. Question is, can that clearinghouse keep up with the threat of cyber attacks? Hackers already proved their capabilities by stealing personal data from Sony Pictures and customer information from some of the nation's top retailers. Even CENTCOM's social media pages were infiltrated last month. That's the military organization overseeing U.S. war operations in the Middle East. Tech giant Apple is taking its own steps to protect customers. CEO Tim Cook announcing FaceTime and iMessage users already have an added layer of protection when accessing their iCloud accounts.
We know hackers are doing everything they can do to steal your data. It's why we've used all the technology at our disposal to create the most secure devices and the most secure systems that we can.
Don't expect to see some of Cook's fellow CEOs from Google, Facebook, and Yahoo at the summit. The companies are sending top security personnel instead. I'm Polo Sandoval reporting.
On a smaller scale, you can keep yourself safe by regularly changing your passwords and clearing your browsing history.
Officials have released the warrants in the murders of 3 Muslim students in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. The documents outline what investigators first saw when they arrived on the scene. Tamara Gibbs reports.
When officers arrived at the scene of a triple homicide, they'd find a woman screaming, pointing in the direction of the apartment where Dia Bearcat, his wife and sister-in-law, were dead inside. The UNC dentistry student was found shot in the head at the entrance, 8 shell casings scattered in the living room. The other victims were located near the kitchen and another room, according to search warrants. An eyewitness would tell officers they saw a white male with a beard and bald spot walking quickly to his car before speeding away. Authorities say the alleged killer, Craig Hicks, would drive all the way to Pittsboro before turning himself into a Chatham County deputy. Tonight, he's in the Central Prison for safekeeping while investigators track the cache of weapons inside his Chapel Hill home. Hicks' wife says he had a concealed carry permit. Sources tell Eyewitness News gun collecting was his hobby. So was the law. The paralegal student turned murder suspect was well liked, excelled academically, and would often help other students according to school officials. But neighbors say there was another side to Craig Hicks, a man obsessed with controlling parking outside his condo, an obsession that led to murder according to police. Now federal investigators will try to determine if Hicks was also fueled by hate.
The search warrants say police found at least a dozen guns belonging to Hicks.
That concludes news for today. Ben Zutini will have your sports news when we return.
Got an itch to be on air? Join the SPTV News crew. Being an on and off air reporter will help you gain experience in interviewing, shooting and editing video, and reporting behind the anchor desk. Join SPTV News, pointing to you.
Don't let the snow and cold get you down this winter. The frozen tundra outside may keep you indoors, but here at SPTV, we'll still be getting you the best news, sports coverage, and entertainment that you need. Don't freeze your fingers and toes off to find out what's happening around campus. Stay warm, everyone. Having trouble getting that first date? Ever wonder if soulmates are real? All your burning love questions can now be answered on SPTV's newest show, The Love Doctor. Join the Love Doctor herself, Michaela Hilgard, as she diagnoses UW Stevens Point's love problems. Whether it's an epidemic of shyness or a case of mixed signals, The Love Doctor is here with the cure.
And now Ben Zutini in his first year with your SPTV Sports.
In sports this week, the University of Wisconsin Stevens Point men's hockey team split a two-game series, with each game ending in a 5-2 score at UW Eau Claire this past weekend. The Pointers lost the first game to the 9th-ranked Blue Golds, who scored 4 goals in the second period. The Pointers rebounded in the next game, scoring 4 unanswered goals to win. Andrew Kolb, Kyle Sharkey, and Jacob Barber each scored a goal, while Brandon Jagger made 32 saves. On the women's side of the ice, the Pointers split a 2-game series against UW Superior to clinch home ice advantage in the WEAC semifinals against Superior. On Friday, Kat Nedjedlo gave UWSP an early 1-0 lead, but the team could not hold on as Superior came back to win 2-1. On senior day, Emily Lester scored the game-winning goal in the third period to seal the 4-3 win. In men's basketball, the Pointers continue to roll as the team defeated top-ranked UW Whitewater at home 72-69 on Gold Night to move into first place of the WEAC. Jordan Lutz led the way in scoring with 22 points. Austin Riff and Joe Ritchie added 15 minutes. It was the second time in school history UWSP defeated the #1 ranked team. On Saturday, the team crushed UW Stout 85-44 on senior night, as the team won for the 6th straight time. 6 players scored double-digit points as Stephen Pelkoffer led the way with 15 points. The women's basketball team once again had a 1-1 week with the 64-52 loss at Whitewater after having a halftime lead. The Pointers clinched a spot in the WEAC tournament for the 15th consecutive year with the 68-64 win over UW Stout. Joanne Wolfenberg led the team with 18 points and Lauren Anklem added 14. On Saturday, the NBA had its All-Star Saturday as the players competed in many competitions. Patrick Beverley won the skills competition, while Steph Curry won the three-point contest. But the star of the night was Zach LaVine of the Minnesota Timberwolves, who won the slam dunk contest over Victor Oladipo. That wraps up sports. Miranda Vanderhey will have your entertainment news when we return.
You're watching SPTV on Channel 983, your Stevens Point home for news, music, sports, and more.
All of the music's here on PMTV Late Night. Catch PMTV running all night long only on SPTV.
Let's have a party. Let's have a party.
How can you get involved with student media at UWSP? Connecting with your campus television station, SPTV, is easy. Like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Vine, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Pinterest, follow us on Instagram, or connect with us on Google+. But of course, the best way for you to get involved and stay up to date with all that is happening at our station is to stop by our studio. We're located in the Communication Arts Center at UWSP, Studio B, Room 121. You can also drop by our office, Room 130, for more information on station happenings. We can't wait to get you involved. Come join us at SPTV. Let's make media together.
This public service announcement is brought to you by SPTV.
Hi, my name is Julia Flaherty. I've been living with juvenile diabetes for more than half of my life. I realized fairly early on in my diagnosis that this was an opportunity for me to take responsibility to draw awareness about a disease that, according to JDRF.org, affects almost 3 million Americans today. November is National Diabetes Awareness Month. That's why I'm asking you to tweet me at Miss Trenchie on Twitter to tell me how you are going to help the world be diabetes-free. This disease is not curable. It is treatable. But for some people, that doesn't make it any less tolerable. Whether you have juvenile diabetes, know someone that does, or are just inspired to learn more about it, the month of November gives you a great opportunity to start. Don't push disease to invisibility. Set it free.
This public service announcement is not affiliated with JDRF.org. This has been an SPTV production. Together, we strive to make media with UWSP students.
These guys care about sports. The talk continues after the cameras stop rolling. Watch Final Take only right here on SPTV for anything pointers, anything sports.
On every corner of our planet, the San Diego Zoo Global Wildlife Conservancy helps bring Earth's animals back from extinction. Join us now to end global extinction. You can help to save the planet and help restore Earth back to life. The San Diego Zoo Global Wildlife Conservancy, bringing species back from the brink of extinction.
And now, Miranda Vandenay in her second year with your SPTV Entertainment.
This past weekend, SPTV's Julia Flaherty traveled to Bowler, Wisconsin, where Chris Young dazzled the audience.
This is Julia Flaherty reporting for SPTV News, and I'm standing in North Star Mohegan Casino, where Chris Young just performed some of his greatest hits.
Chris Young performed live February 13th in Bowler, Wisconsin, having just traveled from Nashville, where he performed at the Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition party on February 12th. Fans were excited Young made it to Wisconsin with such a short time in between concerts.
I was like coming up so mad if you have no idea. Like when I found out that he was playing, I seriously was like, oh my god!
For some fans, Young's music created new memories, while others were reminded of past sentimental times.
Did you have a favorite part? I loved the transition to something other than country.
Bringing Eric Clapton.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Actually, that was my friend Lauren. This is Lauren, my best friend. That was her wedding song.
Oh, really?
Very special
really
moment.
special for you. It was, and my husband was getting beer at the time. And then I was
Young performed hits like Lonely Eyes and Aw Nah, among others. According to Billboard.com, Young's Lonely Eyes is currently ranked 14th on the list of the top 100 country songs. The crowd demanded an encore as Young and his band began to leave the stage around 9:30 p.m. Young was a crowd pleaser, engaging his audience on a personal level as he cast a smile and threw touring memorabilia to them.
Oh, amazing. Very good. Have you ever seen Chris Young perform before? Never.
First time. But we go again.
Absolutely, in a heartbeat.
I know, because we have a drumstick and a guitar.
Young raised a glass to fans when he finally left the stage shortly before 10 p.m. as he encouraged them to explore the casino. Young will continue to tour the Midwest through February, then will head to Hawaii and Australia this March.
Chris Young's next concert will be in Independence, Missouri on February 19th. Freeze Fest came to a close last week. Students ended the week-long festival by ice skating at Willett Ice Arena. SPTV's Emily Margison was at the closing event.
Residential Living hosted Freeze Fest this past week to help get students out of their winter slump. Ice skating was one of the main events of the week.
I feel like a lot of people are really enjoying the ice skating. We had a great turnout so far, and we're not even halfway through our program, which is great to see all the turnout.
Today, it definitely brings interest into the rink, and you see a lot more kids come in than when we have these kind of events and stuff.
The overwhelming amount of attendance caused the rink to run out of skates.
Yes, that's a really great sign. It means that there's so many people that wanted to attend and needed skates to actually go out in there and skate. So we're hoping with the turnover with people coming and going that we'll be able to just keep filtering people in and out and having fun.
I did a couple of graceful falls in slow-mo.
Hopefully we'll get some soon so I can go out there and fall.
This event not only gives students something to do, it also allows them to earn money and prizes for participation in the event.
The hall that gets the most attendance, the highest rankings in the participation, and things like that, they win money for their hall programming, a pizza party, and a trophy. And then second and third get money for their hall programming as well. And it's just a great way for residents to come out and have fun during these winter months.
Reporting on Freeze Fest, this has been Emily Margison with SPTV News.
Well, those guys seemed happy to be ice skating. I wonder how many skates Willett actually has. Centertainment also hosted events for Valentine's Day this past weekend. Miranda, on Friday, there was speed dating in the DUC, and on Saturday, there was an affordable catered dinner followed by swing dancing. This weekend was quite eventful at UWSP. Next week, we will hear from students how the soul food dinner was. That's all for entertainment news this week. Mimi and Marty when we return.
My name is Julia Flaherty. I'm the current promotions director at SPTV. My job allows for me to have a lot of personal creative direction because that is the team environment that we instill here at SPTV. This past summer, I had the opportunity to write for hercampus.com as well as thedailyquirk.com. Personally, I feel that being involved with SPTV has really helped boost my confidence and my ability to network with other students. If student media is something that interests you, and even if you're not really sure what student media means, you should stop by our studios. We are looking forward to having you involved this year, and we cannot wait to make media with you.
You're watching SPTV here on Channel 983 on Charter.
Hi, I'm Laura Braun, the General Manager at SPTV. I'm a Stevens Point native and want to make sure that we're providing you with the best local coverage of all the news, sports, and entertainment as we possibly can. If you have any questions or comments about our organization, feel free to email us or stop by our offices. We're located in the Communication Arts Center at the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point and can't wait to meet you, because today we can make media together.
This public service announcement is brought to you by SPTV.
Hi, my name is Julia Flaherty. I've been living with juvenile diabetes for more than half of my life. I realized fairly early on in my diagnosis that this was an opportunity for me to take responsibility to draw awareness about a disease that, according to JDRF.org, affects almost 3 million Americans today. November is National Diabetes Awareness Month. That's why I'm asking you to tweet me at Miss Trenchie on Twitter to tell me how you are going to help the world be diabetes-free. This disease is not curable. It is treatable. But for some people, that doesn't make it any less tolerable. Whether you have juvenile diabetes, know someone that does, or are just inspired to learn more about it, the month of November gives you a great opportunity to start. Don't push disease to invisibility. Set it free.
This public service announcement is not affiliated with JDRF.org. This has been an SPTV production. Together, we strive to make media with UWSP students.
So Mimi, after seeing that package, have you ever been ice skating before?
I actually never been skating. I'm kind of scared too. I'd probably fall. You play hockey, right?
Yeah, I played hockey growing up. Probably been skating for over 15 years, so you gotta get used to it once in a while, but after a while, it's pretty easy to do.
Well, maybe you can teach me sometime. Well, that's all we have for SPTV News this week. Tune in next week for all the latest in Point news, and don't forget to check out our social media pages. Good night, Stevens Point.
Stand by camera 1. Coming in on camera in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take camera 1. SPTV News serves Stevens Point, the largest city in Portage County and home to 26,000 people. SPTV News covers campus, local, and national news, as well as local sports and entertainment. Melissa Mitrovic will present you the latest in Point news. Tune in to Charter Channel 983 or visit our YouTube channel. SPTV News, pointing to you.
Got an itch to be on air? Join the SPTV News crew. Being an on and off-air reporter will help you gain experience in interviewing, shooting and editing video, and reporting behind the anchor desk. Join SPTV News, pointing to you.
Don't have a television? Don't worry. SPTV is available on demand at uwsp.edu/SPTV. Find your favorite shows on our website, plus links to all of our YouTube content. Stay up to date with SPTV News that includes information about campus and community happenings. And don't forget to like us on Facebook. We're SPTV-UWSP Television. SPTV. Let's make media together.
Having trouble getting that first date? Ever wonder if soulmates are real? All your burning love questions can now be answered on SPTV's newest show, The Love Doctor. Join the Love Doctor herself, Michaela Hilgard, as she diagnoses UW Stevens Point's love problems. Whether it's an epidemic of shyness or a case of mixed signals, the Love Doctor is here with the cure.
These guys care about sports. The talk continues after the cameras stop rolling. Watch Final Take only right here on SPTV for anything Pointers, anything sports.
My name is Julia Flaherty. I'm the current promotions director at SPTV. My job allows for me to have a lot of personal creative direction because that is the team environment that we instill here at SPTV. This past summer, I had the opportunity to write for hercampus.com as well as thedailyquirk.com. Personally, I feel that being involved with SPTV has really helped boost my confidence and my ability to network with other students. If student media is something that interests you, and even if you're not really sure what student media means, you should stop by our studios. We are looking forward to having you involved this year, and we cannot wait to make media with you.
On every corner of our planet, the San Diego Zoo Global Wildlife Conservancy helps bring Earth's animals back from extinction. Join us now to end global extinction. You can help to save the planet and help restore Earth back to life. The San Diego Zoo Global Wildlife Conservancy, bringing species back from the brink of extinction.